garlic, beetroot, asparagus.
What do you want here, lad?
God save, Monsignor. My name's Henry, and I've been sent by Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Sir Hanush, And why is he sending you?
I'm to assist you in your search.
Oh, I see. How considerate of him. Well, you've come at the right time. I need someone who'll go unnoticed among the locals. I'm sure Sir Hanush told you what I'm doing here.
He said you're looking for heretics?
Exactly. I'm seeking out the sores that inflict the body of the church. The rash of heretics. Waldensians. Dangerous heretics, one and all.
How can I help you then?
Excellent. Let's get right to the point, Henry. I know how to get to where the heretics congregate.
And what's stopping you from going there, sir?
That is to say, I know in theory. The crux of the matter is this. We caught a heretic in Gutenberg who told us of the heretics in Uschitz. Regrettably, by the time he got around to describing their meeting place, he was already raving and hardly coherent.
I see. So do you know where they meet up, or don't you?
Possibly. His account was confused, to say the least. I have a record somewhere here. Can you read, boy?
Naturally, Father. Otherwise, Sir Hanush wouldn't have sent me.
I see. It's a good thing at least the servants of the nobility are getting a suitable education. Some of their own offspring can hardly write their own names. Here's the record of the interrogation. From what I can make out, his description of the route starts at the local tavern. Once you've found something out, come back and see me.
I'll do my best, Father.
Well, I'm not from Uschitz exactly, so I don't know how well they'll accept me.
That's good, because the last thing I need is one of these local good-for-nothings. I can't trust a single one of them. And they don't trust me either. But you're an ordinary lad with a likable face, if a bit simple-looking. You'll have a much better chance of learning their secrets.
You flatter me, Monsignor. Very well, then. Are there any suspects?
Everyone is a suspect. You can be sure of that. But I'll know more after I finish the interrogations.
How did you conclude there are heretics here?
We caught one in Gutenberg. He confessed to everything, including meeting up with others in Uschitz a few times.
And that was all he told you?
By the end, all his strength had left him, so he couldn't even put together a list.
I see.
I'm pleased to hear it.
Who are these Waldensians? I've never heard of them.
Really? Then you've either not been paying attention in church, or the parish priest in Ratai is too idle to read out the bishop's missive to the congregation. Both possibilities are equally disturbing, but I'll allow you the benefit of the doubt and assume it's the latter. But to answer your question, it's a heretical sect.
I gathered that much, but what form does the heresy take?
Look, boy, I don't have time right now to embark on theological disputation. Besides which, it's not something you need concern yourself with. Suffice it to say, they are heretics.
Very well, Monsignor.
Sorry, Father. I'm afraid I'm not up to reading that document.
That's all right, lad. My scribe has a truly dreadful scrawl. I began my pilgrimage in Uschitz, a den of iniquity where the people were drinking and fornicating. So I left that corrupt place at once. The only place I could make out was the local tavern. And at once I saw another abomination, the temple of the bride of the Antichrist, with the proud Babylonian tower. I went past it quickly towards the rising sun. When I left the village, I came upon a crossroads and didn't know which way to go. So I fell on my knees and prayed, and my prayer was heard. for the finger of Christ rose from the ground to show the right path. On I went, through this sinful land, and suddenly I heard the sound of a 1,000-headed crowd at work, and I saw their queen and their towers. I journeyed further on, and all at once there rose from the ground the jaws of the behemoth, and his broken teeth jutted up to the heavens like the tombstones of the Moabites. So I went through the mouth of the beast, and by the road I saw the abode of the apostles Peter and Andrew. I was hungry, so I took the fruits of their labors and filled my belly. Then I left their house and saw 2 widows weeping and keening. I wept with them, and they let me sleep in their shadow. I went further along the edge of the world, and saw the ribs of the great Leviathan washed up by the sea. Then I saw 2 bridges over the river Jordan, and the devil tempted me and tried to lure me to the one on the right. But I saw through his deception and went against his will. And then I finally saw it, the gateway to the Garden of Paradise, abundant with foliage. It was guarded by men of straw, but they saw I was a good Christian and let me enter therein.
That sounds rather insane.
As I say, he was probably raving. Do you recognize any of those places?
No, but I can look for them.
Excellent. That's what I wanted to hear.
I'll get working on it, sir.
God be with you, my son.
Ale as usual.
Look at those melons! Wouldn't they make a fine treat? Feel free to have a knock.
Yeah.
Mother of God! You look...
The herbalist Kunhuta sent me. I'm here because of the ghost.
You don't look like you know a thing about ghosts. Why didn't she come herself? Why did she send someone so young instead? Do you know anything at all about exorcisms?
Kunhuta's back hurts, so she sent me. I don't really understand any of this, but I'll do everything I can.
God in heaven. I could have just done it myself.
What exactly's been going on?
It happens at night. Every night now an apparition comes to me and I can't get a wink of sleep. I can't take it anymore.
Whose ghost is it?
His name was Alois and he had a farm not far from Ledechko. A few years ago, his farmhouse burned down with him in it.
I've heard that people who die such horrible deaths seldom rest in peace.
Why do you think he chose you of all people?
How am I supposed to know? Maybe because we're neighbours. We grew up together as children.
I suppose that makes sense. Where is Alois buried?
For the exorcism, I'll need flowers from his grave.
He's laid to rest in the Sasau cemetery by the wall. His grave is a bit overgrown with vines. I've been there a few times for a visit. The first day he appeared, I prayed at his grave, but he came again just the same.
I know everything I need to know.
Then for God's sake, perform the ritual as soon as... Goodbye.
Make it quick, though.
Sure. Farewell. Farewell. Take care.
I'd like to discuss...
Come now. Good luck to you.
Let's have a word.
I'd almost... I'm finished. This is go...
Let's have a word about the price.
Aye.
Since it's...
Well...
Very... Let's talk about...
Aye. Well now.
Found it. Now to pick the flowers.
Hey, who's there?
Yeah! Yeah!
God be with
For how?
Just-
All right. You'll like it. Take care now. Hey, Goodman. A word with you.
I respect.
Are there any problems around here I might be able to help with?
Well, it depends what you're willing to do. Of course, it's your own Skalitz folk need the most help. There's some of them at the monastery. I talked to Johanka a few times, and she's working her fingers to the bone, taking care of the injured ones there. I'm sure she'd welcome some good Samaritan who would lighten her load. And that's not all. There's one troublemaker around here not long ago, but we dealt with him. He was selling some relics and he claimed were miraculous, but it was nothing but worthless trinkets. The villagers sent the bloody swindler packing so fast, you couldn't see his heels for dust. All the way to the Dechko, I believe. I reckon he won't last long there either. That's all I can think of.
Bye.
way to the forge he flies.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I've heard it said that you're a warlock.
What? Why the fuck would they say that?
They say when you temper steel, you chant spells, and then nothing of yours ever breaks.
Spells? That's a good one. It's no spell, just a rhyme to time myself so I don't hold the steel hair too long.
Sure. Farewell.
They say you're the best blacksmith in the whole region. That metal you've tempered never breaks.
Ah, nothing but old wives' tales. Of course some of my pieces have broken, but only ever here, at the smithy.
No one's ever returned anything for you to rework, though, have they?
Not that I recall, but I can't remember everything.
Father was a blacksmith all my life. He always stoked up the furnace till it roared gently, and you could smell the heated iron. Then he plunged it into the water, and that was that.
What gently humming furnace are you on about? Have you ever actually been near one? You'd end up drenched with sweat the whole time, not just while you were tempering. Don't try and tell me you've ever even been in a smithy.
I'd like to ask you about the tempering process.
And I'd say I've nothing much to tell you. You just need an eye for it and a furnace.
So that's why I'm curious just how you go about it.
Look, I learnt it from my father. May he rest in peace. And I don't mean to share our secret with anyone.
So it's a family formula?
Actually, yes, it is. And that's how it's going to stay.
Let's stop talking about tempering.
Take care now.
My breath is short, my feet are sore. I buy a horse, but I am poor. The sun may burn, the sun may shine, but you will not hither, darling mine. Now, for the last time. The sun, he hides behind the cloud. His heat goes cold and his fire goes out. He drowned the fish and broke its neck, so down upon the deck. Fry your fish, the fish head's best, fishy thighs and fishy breast.
Mother.
I'm interested in your...
Uh-huh.
Get my...
But if...
I'm not giving...
And how much are you...
That...
That's a poor offer. God bless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back to anyone. Looking for something around here?
God be with you.
Is there anything interesting going on here?
It's so peaceful, it worries me. Bye. G'day.
What is it you want here? Before mass.
Yes!
And meat salami, sausages, meat of all shapes, sizes and flavours.
What do you need?
Can you show me how to repair armor and weapons better?
Are you pulling my pizzle? You want me to teach you after what you did here? Take care now.
Poor or rich, old or young, there's something here.
Carrots and apples picked today. Put a smile on.
Yeah.
My respects to you.
Master Blacksmith, I think I know how the tempering gets done in Sasau.
And what have you found out? Don't keep me on tenterhooks. Out with it.
That chant of his is a sort of nursery rhyme. He uses it to time his heating and quenching.
Well, there we are. I thought those rumours about casting spells were a load of nonsense. And do you recall this little rhyme of his?
Maybe, but that's not all. He heats the metal twice.
Twice? Why would he do that?
You'll have to ask him that. But the second time it didn't hiss, although he heated it. And that rhyme of his, it went something like this.
The sun is high, the breath is short, the road is long, it seems to me. The sun may burn, the sun may shine, but you'll not wither, darling mine.
And 7.
That was the first part. Now the second.
He drowned the fish and broke its neck, threw it down upon the deck. The fish, it swims across the lake.
That was, what, 8?
Fry your fish, the fish head's best, fishy thighs and fishy breast.
And 4 and 5.
And that's all.
That's not right. I counted it out, and that's certainly no way to temper anything.
But I'm sure...
This can't be right. Maybe God be with you.
Now I'm quite...
Then tell me.
That chant...
Well, there we are.
Maybe, but that's...
Twice?
You'll have to ask him. The sun sets out across the skies. He loses his way, to the forge he flies.
That sounds like the start of something.
Kuttenberg is far, far away. Kuttenberg is far, here I'll stay.
And 2 and 3.
My breath is short, my feet are sore. I'd buy a horse, but I am poor.
Yes, that would be about it.
The sun may burn, the sun may shine, but you'll not wither, darling mine.
And 7.
That was the first part. Now the second. The sun he hides behind a cloud. His heat goes cold and his fire goes out.
And that's how the second part begins, is it?
He drowned the fish and broke its neck, threw it down upon the deck. Fry your fish, the fish head's best, fishy thighs and fishy breast.
And 4 and 5.
And that's all. That's the way it went.
Right. The first part long and the second shorter nearly by half. I'll have to try it out. Here's your reward, and if you're in need of a job...
I'll give it some thought, Master Blacksmith.
God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
God be with you.
I've come to ask about that Cuman.
Ask away.
How did you manage to catch him? It's not like I underestimate you, but I can only assume he was armed.
Aye, he was. But he had a bit of bad luck. I went for water in the morning, and all of a sudden I saw a man on a horse riding through the ford. Halfway down the ford, the horse got wild and threw him into the water. I waded in and pulled him up on the shore, and then I realized he was a Cuman. Luckily for me, he'd hit his head and was out cold, so I dragged him into the bar.
And what plans do you have for him?
What do I know? The Miller told me to guard him. You'll have to ask him what he's got in mind.
All right, I'll ask him. How did you
Half and then...
Interesting.
Been a pleasure.
How are you?
Is there any work here for carpenters?
I don't need any carpenters. Bye. Hey, who's that?
It's up to the old man. I don't care. As long as it's back locked up, I can see.
I've come to ask about... Ask away. Interesting.
That's it, eh? The no worries.
How do I know which are the...
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion, stinging nettle, and thistle...
I see.
God be with you.
It's done.
Did you weed the beds and leave what should be growing there alone?
I may have picked a couple of the other plants by mistake.
If it's only a couple, there's no harm done. I'm going to check with my... May the Lord watch over you.
Were you satisfied with my weeding?
You said it was finished, but I took a look at it. Is that what you call a finished job? Try again and do better. That good luck to you.
It's done.
Did you weed the...
I may have...
I'm going to take care now.
Were you satisfied?
You said it was finished, but I took a look at it. Try again and do farewell.
It's done.
Did you?
May the Lord watch over
Could do
you.
with a bite to eat.
I just won't get any sleep.
Were you satisfied?
It wasn't the best work I've ever seen, but you pulled up more weeds. God be with you.
do... Here you are.
Stay here.
May the Lord watch over you.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my God. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Ratai unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe, but convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
That actually happened to me once. Fritz pissed on the burn and it was right as rain the next day.
I see. Well, better talk to Brother Nicodemus before trying that treatment here.
And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, That's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power. Tell me more about this. All right.
What happened to my family?
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of. But others are dying here, needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded, then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this, I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith. But I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
Well, that's true. He comes to visit Johanka. But he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
So you don't... Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world. And the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. I can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm ashamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Even so...
You're not the only one.
Would you teach me more?
Certainly.
I'm interested in... Wouldn't you rather learn... Well... Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What important is that he doesn't get out, or he'll stab us all in our sleep.
Have you lost something?
Fuck!
Ow! Well landed. You can cry now. You're dead. Bring it on. Oh dear, did I? What's the matter? Come on. Down. Here.
Mit akartok már megint? Miért nem hagysz nyugodtan megdögleni? Te érzéketlen szentság, miért?
Keep it down. I'm getting you out of here. Though if you knew where we're going, you'd probably rather stay.
Te mocsok! Oldozz el és meglátod!
Stop talking and be quiet. What are you looking at? We're going to Ratai. I'm not letting a catch like this go.
Gyerem! Please, mercy!
Mercy? You'd like that, you heathen.
Please, no, no, Ratai!
How about that? You do understand. And you don't want to go to Ratai? If I were you, I'd feel the same way.
Please, money, underground.
Money, you say? I'm listening.
Igen, me, freedom, you, money.
One moment, I'm not letting you go.
Freedom, you, money.
If you really take me to the spot where you have the money hidden, I'll let you go.
Money, you. Köszönöm, Isten fizesse meg a nagy lelkűségedet. Nem fogod megbánni.
Ah, that's enough of your yapping. Let's go. No doubt we've a long journey ahead. And no tricks. Is that clear?
Igen. Már mehetek? Akkor kell vagy sem? Igen?
Go. A good deed shouldn't go unrewarded. And I suppose you might call this a good deed?
Ja.
Worst meg kapot.
Ja. Ja.
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes.
What now? Shall we take a walk?
You don't give up. And where would you care to go?
We could go to Gallows Hill.
Henry, you have a weird sense of humour.
What if we took a stroll along the river?
Why not? That sounds lovely.
Let's go.
That was a good idea, to go for a walk. Not that I don't like the mill, but you get tired of it. So I'm glad you took me out. I'd love to see the markets in Prague one day. Have you ever been to Prague?
No, I haven't. I have been in Kuttenberg, but Prague must be much bigger.
I've heard it's pretty smelly, though.
Yeah, so many people in one place. So many assholes.
That's disgusting. I'd love to listen to that young preacher, Jan Hus. They say he preaches in the common tongue. Everyone's talking about it.
I bet he's just handsome. That's why the women dote on him.
You're a right one. A preacher doesn't need good looks for people to listen to him.
And what about that fine fellow at St. James? I know full well why all the girls have started going to confession, and you have too, so don't give me any of that.
You scoundrel. Well, all right. I admit I find him handsome. But that doesn't make me a bad Christian.
I'd never dare to suggest such a thing.
Tell you what. Let's not dawdle. Last one is a slimy slug. That was fun. Sit down here next to me, Hal. And what about you? I heard you're helping Sir Radzig.
Sir Radzig has me running a few errands. I have to say, he always treats me well, and I make a wage.
So you've had your turn of luck. What's it like serving nobility?
I don't know. I suppose it's a job like any other.
I don't believe a word of it. If you ask me, you're loving every minute and you don't want to make me envious.
Now then.
Oh, Henry, what am I going to do with you? Wandering the land, turning innocent girls' heads.
The only one here whose head is all messed up is me. How do you always manage to look so good?
Just look at the lady killer. Where did you learn to talk that way?
I don't recall which church service it was exactly.
You scoundrel. But you certainly know how to make a girl feel special. You may continue. But now I have to go.
Can I go with you?
I don't want to give anyone an excuse to gossip. Maybe another time.
Look at the state you're in.
Matthew and Fritz send their regards.
They survived. My God, I'm glad. They helped me out a lot. And where did you see them?
In Sasau. I bumped into them in front of the tavern. Where else?
And how are they doing?
They're doing fine. The monks brought them back to health. But they don't have work, and they're in debt. You wouldn't happen to know of any jobs going for two lazy carpenters?
Not here. And I think it will be the same in all of Ratai. It's overcrowded with refugees, and they're all looking for work.
That's bad. Those two need work badly. To keep them out of mischief. You know what they're like.
I do indeed. Try the mills in the smaller hamlets. The miller in Ledechko is old. Maybe he could use some strong hands.
I will. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, what a... My respects to you.
Teresa, the millmaid, sent me. She said you could use some help.
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, two survivors of Skalitz, are looking for work.
And why should I take that?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
I'm from Skalitz, and I know them both personally. They worked in the royal mines, and their master couldn't praise them highly enough.
In the Skalitz mines? That's skillful work. I'll be glad to talk to them. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here.
May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah.
Greeting.
I'd like to make...
So what are you in?
Get myself fit.
That can be a...
I'm not giving you that.
And how much?
Are we?
You won't. God bless.
Yeah! Yeah!
Glad to fucking see you, Henry.
The monastery wants you to pay for treatment. That doesn't sound right.
Leave it be, Howell.
I won't. What happened?
We might have pummeled his face. But don't get involved, Henry. We'll settle.
Wait, who exactly did you pummel?
Well, he kept on bothering us and... in a nutshell, it was his fault and we're not going to talk about it anymore.
But couldn't there be a way to settle it? Maybe he'd let you off the...
There isn't.
But don't be a twat, Fritz. The two of you are up to your necks in shit, and you're going to play tough instead of seeing sense.
Go to hell, Henry. You and Elias. You're one as bad as the other.
Yeah, if you say so, I'll leave it be. I want to get better.
Certainly.
I'd like to... Oh. Isn't... Is this...
Well... Agreed. See you later.
The miller and Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. I couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only...
What?
The reward we talked about, well, we haven't got 2 groschen to rub together.
Why did I even bother with you pair of parasites? I risked my good name to find work for the both of you.
And we'll pay you. As soon as we have anything to pay you with. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage.
I'd like you to... I'm interested in... Isn't that quite... Agree?
Come now. Just a little more. Agreed. Good luck, then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good health to you, sir.
Whose house is this?
It's our local custodians. The most esteemed Sir Sebastian, Baron von Berg.
You don't seem to think very much of him.
But of course I do. A man with a nose so stuck up that it acts as a rain funnel can't be all bad.
What does the custodian do, anyway?
Well, he's meant to look after the local community and keep the peace.
But
in fact, he seems more interested in robbing everyone blind.
I'm much obliged.
Don't mention it.
You look bored.
Beyond tears.
How can you be bored here in Sasau? In such a holy place, filled with knowledge.
Don't even talk to me about it. They won't let you touch the books. They don't want to talk to you. And when I wanted to look at the remains of St. Procopius, at least, they ran me off. Me! Like some kind of thief. What good is the whole blasted monastery if I can't even do that?
Well, they say there's not much left of poor Procopius.
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm not blaming you. It's just that only monks have access to the reliquary in the crypt. Folk were even taking relics away from St. Procopius' cave for protection before. Now no one's allowed in there.
I know. But I'd never dream of doing that. I just wanted to touch them for luck.
Maybe I could help you.
How? You're not planning some mischief, are you?
No, not at all. I was going to bring you something from the cave under the monastery where he spent his time. You can get in there, you could touch it for luck, and then I'd return it.
Oh, now. You'd do that for me?
Of course.
Then I'd be very grateful to you. Good luck to you.
My respects to you.
I'm helping at the infirmary now, and I came to...
Ah, and how is Johanka? Do you know her well?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. Does she ever talk about me?
I'm mainly here for supplies and to talk about the state of the wounded from Skalitz. They need blankets, food...
Well, that's not my problem. Let the infirmarius take care of it.
His hands are tied. Until the abbot comes back, he can't get anything.
And why should that interest me?
Oh, you're unbelievable.
I don't know what you mean, but you should go now. You're beginning to bore me. Good luck to you.
We were talking about...
Why are you
Because I'll pay...
For
Oh, come off it. You get your supplies from the monastery for free. No one will bat an eyelid if you ask for more. Blankets can get chewed up by mice. Food can go off. What do you say to this?
You're a right pinch purse. Yes, these things happen, certainly. And as long as the monastery needs my protection, they'll have to put up with it. God be with you.
God be with you.
Are you guarding Procopius Cave?
That's right. Otherwise people would steal absolutely everything.
You're doing good work.
I'm glad someone under... Farewell.
Good health to you.
Are you guard...
That's right. Otherwise...
You're doing good.
God be with you.
Just as I thought. There aren't any remains here.
Good luck to you.
Do you need any more help?
Knowledge of herbal remedies always comes in handy. Listen up. We have some new brothers who are meant to help me with the wounded, but not all of them know their medicinal herbs as well as I'd hope. They'll have to be taught.
I'm not much of a teacher.
I should imagine not. But you won't be doing any teaching, just helping me put together our new herbarium. I shall need all of the herbs mentioned in the old one.
That sounds easy. I'll be right back.
Don't be so sure. Some of the herbs are shy little things, prone to hiding from sight. When you've collected one of each, come back for your reward. One more thing. Bring me some old book or other. We'll scrape off the old ink to make a palimpsest, and use the blank pages for the herbarium.
An old book?
Very well.
May the Lord watch over you.
I won't get any sleep. I just won't get any sleep.
I've got those herbs.
Let me see if you have everything. Are you trying to waste my time? Come back when you have... Good luck to you. God be with you.
I heard you had a fight with Fritz and Matthew.
Heathens.
So it was you they fought with?
Yes, it was me. And I hope I'll never have to see those wastrels again.
They deserve to be ousted, but the debt? How are they ever going to pay it?
I really don't care. Let them live in penury. Brutes.
How much do they owe?
A lot.
Agree?
That's not enough. Well, well, look at you.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
God be with
Let's talk about the... Since...
You're right. Yeah.
Greetings. God bless.
I feel quite hungry.
You want something from me?
know you. I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from?
What?
Of course, my dream. You were in a boat made of bone, and I put a crown of thorns on your head.
All right. Tell me about this dream of yours.
That dream. Yes, that dream has come true. I dreamt that a young man would become my apprentice, my own pupil in the trade of miracles.
And that's supposed to be me?
Who else? What's your name, young man?
Henry.
Henry. A powerful name. So, Henry, are you ready to become my apprentice?
First, tell me, who are you, and what do you do?
Me? I am an unworthy, low, and miserable servant of Providence. Scholar or merchant, believer or heathen. I wander the world without home or family, with only my wagon, offering miracles to those that need them. That's who I am. Without home or kin, I wander this world with my wagon, providing the miracles that people need. Ointments, relics, aromatic herbs, rare spices, talismans and amulets for luck. All these things I have.
What exactly does it entail, becoming your apprentice?
A lot of work and strenuous labor. Knowledge of medicine, theology, and white magic. You have to study the great works of the ancients and devote your time to understanding your fellow men, listening to them, and learn to read their souls.
That's a pretty challenging task.
That's why God has sent you. So what do you say?
All right, I'll be your apprentice.
Wonderful! Oh, glorious day! I have a successor in my work.
So, how do you plan to start training me?
With a test of your practical skills.
Oh.
I have my eye on 3 rare objects of great value, but sadly they're a little difficult to obtain.
But just so we're clear, I'm not stealing anything for you.
Who said anything about stealing?
But you said these are valuable things you're after. I don't suppose you can just pick them up anywhere.
Valuable for me because I know their power and strength. For an ordinary mortal, they barely mean anything.
Oh. Well, that's fine then.
First, I need a tooth of Saint Procopius. Then I'll need a branch from a topping out hung on a church. And finally, a talisman for luck from a passionate player.
Bloody hell, that's a lot. All right, one thing at a time. About that tooth, it's going to be slightly more complicated, isn't it?
I know. Yes, it would be very difficult to gain such a rare relic, of course. That's why I have an alternative solution.
I'm listening.
A layman named Procopius lives by the monastery, and it just so happens, thanks to my intricate medical knowledge, that I've found out he has a sick tooth.
How did you find out he has a sore tooth?
As it happens, he told me at the tavern. But that's not important.
And how am I supposed to get the tooth?
I haven't the faintest idea. You'll have to think of something. But maybe you'll be able to persuade him to let the blacksmith pull it.
Wouldn't that be swindling people?
It is, and it isn't. If I sell that tooth as the tooth of Saint Procopius, then it certainly is deceitful. But if I sell it as a tooth from Procopius of Sasau, then I'm cheating nobody.
Does it really matter whose tooth I bring then?
Of course it does. The name Procopius in this holy land is shrouded with mystical power. Sometimes I might play a trivial trick on someone, but I assure you, I'm no swindler.
Fine. I'll get it from him.
Wonderful.
This topping out, what's that?
You're not a carpenter, it seems.
No, I'm a blacksmith.
I see. Well, a topping out is a decorated spruce or a conifer tree hung on top of the roof of a new house to bring good fortune and God's blessing.
That topping off is hung pretty high, isn't it?
Naturally. It hangs on the rooftop according to tradition. And the church is tall.
And how am I supposed to get it down?
Damned if I know. But they had to get it up there somehow, didn't they?
Well, then all we need to do is break off a branch somewhere, buy a few ribbons, and we've got our own homemade topping out right there.
You don't understand, young man. The topping out was sanctified by a priest, and it hangs on the highest church far and wide. You can't just replace it with a decorated branch.
Fair enough.
Very well, I'll get it. This player's talisman, where am I supposed to find it?
I actually have a specific one in mind. Here at the inn, there's a dice player who always has a cat's paw with him. That's supposed to bring him luck.
A cat's paw? I thought players bring along a rabbit's paw for luck.
I thought so too. But this man is winning one game after another, so cats are clearly even more powerful than rabbits.
Oh. How am I supposed to get the talisman from him?
I haven't a clue. It won't be easy, but I'm sure you'll find a way.
We'll see.
Asparagus, they'll cut you in half. And cucumbers, that'll cure what ails you. Come get them.
Very well. I'll get you the paw. I'll get looking for those things then.
Excellent! You do that, my journeyman. Good luck.
I'm looking for a piece of the remains of St. Procopius.
Are you now? And who would that be for?
For me. I'd like to have something for good luck.
A very reasonable wish. I have a piece of his finger bone.
And it's from St. Procopius?
Well, he was definitely a good fellow. Well, at least not a bad one. And I believe his name even was Procopius.
All right, what do you want for it?
A precious piece, that one.
Let's have a word about the...
Naturally.
Cabbage. Green cabbage.
Agree?
Before it goes
That's
brown.
This is a waste of time. I see.
You meant... And it's from St...
Well, he...
All right.
Can we do something?
What?
Well, Aye.